What's up, Mecha fans, and welcome back to the channel. So today I am finally going to be breaking down the Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuX trailer, which released now 3 weeks ago. Now, for whatever reason, it's taken me ages to actually get to doing this video, but you guys said that you still wanted to see it, so today that's exactly what we're going to do. Before we dive deep into this trailer though, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are a fan of mecha anime content and want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. And also head on down to the comments section below, let me know what you thought of the trailer, let me know any theories or anything like that you have based off some of the things that you saw in this, and without further ado, let us dive into it. So the trailer kicks off with an establishing shot of the colony with a voiceover from our protagonist Amate Yuzura, basically describing everything about the colony, how it works, how life is there, all the stuff that we already know because we've seen plenty of space colonies within Gundam. This is followed by various other shots giving us a good idea of how Amate lives. We get a shot of her basically floating to the bottom of an ocean, which is probably some sort of dream scenario. We also get a shot of her stood in front of a wall of graffiti under a bridge and then in her bedroom looking fed up. So the idea is that Amate is fed up with her life. She finds it boring, she finds it, almost numbing in a way, and she does things like graffitiing and more kind of illegal activities just to add some excitement into her life. And that's kind of the setup of the character, which leads us on to the next shot of her crossing paths with Nyaan for the first time. So another character within this series who we will talk more about in a little while. And then we get some voiceover stuff talking about clan battles where you can compete for prize money, which is essentially underground fighting with mobile suits. When you see, like these kind of underground fights, cage fights within various movies and games and all this kind of stuff, that's essentially what this is like. That's the equivalent of it for the Gundam universe. We then get introduced to one of our other lead characters, which is Shuji, and then we see Amate meeting him for the first time under her fighter name, or presumably her fighter name of Machu. The next shot shows Amate and Nyaan in a laundrette. This might be following Amate's first clan battle, as you can see what looks to be her pilot outfit within the washing machine in the background. Then we get shots of different characters who seem to be involved in the clan battles, and it kind of gives us this idea that this is the crew that Amate is going to be a part of. Out of these shots, they essentially serve to introduce us to the idea of the clan battles and kind of the underground nature of that. There is one interesting shot to talk about in there, and that is Amate and Nyaan in front of a door in like an ominous alleyway. What is this door? Where's it lead to? We don't know exactly, but you can kind of get the idea that it's probably the main base of operations for this crew. If it's underground fighting, they're going to be in, the worst of the worst dark alleyways kind of thing, dirty, grimy places. You would expect that the characters would reside there, so that is probably what this is. Otherwise, it could be something to do with Nyaan, which we'll talk about soon. Over these different shots, we do get more of a voiceover which details how the clan battles work. The aim is to destroy the opposing mobile suit's head to win the match. Very similar to plenty of other fights that we've seen before. G Gundam, basically the same setup as that. That's the goal of the fights in G Gundam, and it's obviously very similar to what we saw in the duels with Witch from Mercury, except that was head antenna that they had to destroy instead. Another intriguing shot in there shows someone getting an anonymous message on their phone. Now this is probably like details of the time and location for the clan battle to take place. Like I said, this is like illegal work. Now I can't read Japanese, so I'm sure people that can will be able to actually decipher exactly what it says in that text message, but that's just the idea that I'm getting, that based on everything else that's going on here, it's the most likely scenario. We then get some shots of Amate preparing to pilot the GQuuuuuX, first one being the crew's leader, or what I presume is the crew's leader, helping Amate put on her pilot suit, and then that's followed by a shot of her in the cockpit with her white haro. Here's where the door in the ominous alleyway comes back into play, because we do get a shot of Nyaan talking to a mysterious figure. Now what we know from Nyaan based on her character description on the website is that she works as a courier smuggling illegal goods. So presumably this mysterious figure is either a client or her employer. You can kind of get the vibe that maybe that mysterious ominous doorway, hall, alleyway, whatever it was, that could be either a client that she's going to see to take some stuff or her employer that she's meeting. It could be anything to do with that, but like I said again, it could also be to do with maybe the crew's headquarters. There's like a couple of different scenarios in which that doorway, that alleyway could play into things. There's a line of dialogue from the White Haro that I want to talk about a little bit as well, and it says, "Machu's Mav, a real Mav." Now, according to Shuji's character description, he becomes Machu's Mav, and as clan battles consist of 2 people on a team, Mav probably refers to partner in this scenario. This next shot is a very interesting one and ties into some stuff that I've talked about within a separate video, which I'll refer to here, But if you want to know the full context of that, then go watch that video. I'll throw up the thumbnail on screen. I'll leave it probably at the end of this video for you guys to check out. But this shot has Shuji with Conch on his head. Now, for those that don't know what Conch is, it's a robot companion similar to Haro. And he's actually stood in front of a red mobile suit, saying the line, "The Gundam is saying fight." This is actually the red Gundam, which was initially stolen by Shah in this universe and is now piloted by Shuji. The trailer goes into high gear now because the action kicks in with part of the takeoff sequence for the ZQuuuuuuX, followed by it facing off against these red cannons flying around. These red cannons are like funnel weapons from the Red Gundam, meaning that we're probably going to see Amate fighting Shuji in some capacity. Will the Gundam kind of take over? Is this going to be prior to their partnership? I don't really know, but all I know is that we're seeing these red funnels which come from the Red Gundam fighting against the ZQuuuuuuX. This next shot though is the only one where I don't really have an answer to it, and that's based off all the leaked stuff as well. Like, I don't know what's going on here exactly, but we see Amate run and jump off the hand of a mobile suit. Now this mobile suit is not the ZQuuuuuX. There's no armor on the forearm, and there's also no sign of blue accents. If you look at the design of the ZQuuuuuuX, there's kind of like blue on the back of the hand, but also on the forearm. There's also armor there, which there is not in this. Could be a prototype version of the ZQuuuuuX, I don't really know. It's probably just some other random mobile suit, but it's definitely not the Red Gundam either, because there's no sign of red, and I know the Red Gundam's also got like hints of orange and kind of a pinky purple color, which again, you don't see any of that on here, so this is not the Red Gundam. It's also not the ZQuuuuuX. It could be anything. Let me just say though that the animation in this particular shot is fantastic. The way it follows Amate and, like, you know, as she's running and then jumping, so much life in the animation, but it also looks fantastic as well. And I've just also got to show some appreciation for the white Haro wearing a beanie. If there's anything to come from ZQuuuuuX so far that I just love, that is the one thing. It feels so unique and different. It's like, why have we never got a Haro actually wearing human clothes or, you know, hats or anything like that before? I don't really get it. Like, in all the years we've had Gundam, which is now 45 years, we've never got that. So I'm happy that we finally have, and yeah, I love that Haro with the beanie. It's fantastic, and you guys know that whenever they come out with a white Haro, or if there's a white Haro plate available, I'm going to buy it, and I'm also going to get a small beanie to put on it as well. And here's where the juiciest parts of the trailer come in. We got a voiceover talking about how Amate understands timing and might be the real thing. And we'll get back to what that means in a second. But then we also get a shot of a dark blue Zaku dropping in and firing at something. This is actually a police Zaku. Now, like I mentioned earlier about that whole timeline stuff, if you want to know the full details of it, go check out the video that I did on it. But we did learn from some of the information there that Shuji and the Red Gundam are being pursued by the police and the Space Force. You look at all the markings, you look at the colour of it. Yeah, it definitely screams like law enforcement, police, and that's probably what that is here. That shot is then cut together with the ZQuuuuuuX blocking bullets with its shield. But the next shot is probably the most interesting one of the trailer. It's Amate inside the cockpit, and you see a white flash going off, which of course, that is the Newtype flash, which essentially confirms that Amate is a Newtype, which we expected, I guess, like most of the time. Gundam protagonists, they can just randomly somehow pilot a mobile suit very well. There's always some explanation of them being a Newtype or whatever the Newtype adjacent thing is within that universe. And then the trailer ends with the ZQuuuuuuX swinging around and jumping off a wire outside the colony to attack with its heat hawk. And that ends off the trailer. In my opinion, it was a great trailer. The more I watch it, the more I like it. I love the vibe of it. I think it looks visually really, really good. It feels distinctive as well because you've got like the Pokemon character designer doing the designs of the characters, and for that reason, like visually they look so different to other Gundam stuff, which I have zero problem with. Then of course you got the Mecha designer from Evangelion. All the stuff here is looking fantastic. I am very excited for ZQuuuuuuX to eventually come to us. No idea when it is coming. We still don't have like a kind of timeline release date of when to expect it to air. We know that the movie compilation of the first 3 episodes or whatever it is coming on January 17th, so ZQuuuuuuX is probably not that far behind. I would probably expect a spring release date, if anything. Like, if it fits into the typical anime seasons, it's certainly not coming in winter, so the likelihood is that it comes in spring. So March, April time, we could expect this series. This trailer looks great. I'm very excited for it. There's a lot of interesting details to talk about, and I'm glad that I waited until after doing that video on the timeline stuff, because that just has a lot of extra context to some of the things going on here. there we have it though. That is my breakdown of the trailer for Mobile Suit Gundam GQuuuuuuX. Before I get out there, please do leave a like on this video and subscribe if you are a fan of mecha anime content. I want to see plenty more videos like this in the future. Also, like I said earlier, head on down to the comment section below. Let me know what you actually thought of the trailer, but also let me know some of your theories and thoughts with the context of maybe some of the details that we have, but also just looking at the trailer and breaking it down too. Thank you once again for tuning into Mecha Chat today. I'll see you guys next time.